Until I got MS at 27 years old, I had a very active life. At school I had regular boyfriends, and at 16 I happily lost my virginity. I then did A-levels at college and met a chap in a club and travelled around Australia with him. It was a very physical time. We climbed Ayers Rock and completed a diving course. We split when we got home to England, as I wanted to be single when I started university. I had a few short-term relationships and then met a doctor whilst I was working as a physio. I moved in with him. The relationship broke down when I was diagnosed with MS. My life changed drastically. This is Sophie's life. These are Sophie's words, but she's borrowing my voice. I've always had a good sex drive. When I was working, it was easy to meet people with similar interests. I found it increasingly frustrating. I want friends, relationships, and sex. But I can't wear and walk in clothes that are sexy. I can't get into the positions I want to. I worry about getting my clothes off. I'm concerned about problems with my bladder. I want others to know that just because I'm limited physically, I still am a sexual being. I wanted to voice my frustration. Sophie's saying, well, I've had one night stands before, so why can't I have it now? And she's got a damn good point. Sophie wanted to explore and meet people. The carers didn't want to get involved, they didn't want to text. I didn't know who to talk to about it. Both Sophie and I are very, very open, but it's a topic that people just don't want to talk about.
When somebody becomes disabled, whether it be through an injury or they've become ill, addressing someone's sexual needs very rarely happens, if ever. Enhance UK is a user-led disability charity, and we aim to take away the fear factor around disability and support disabled people in having an active social and sex life.
Enhance UK were great, very open, and just made the whole subject normal, which it is.
There are lots of people out there that do need support, and actually not only disabled people themselves, family members of those disabled people, loved ones of those disabled people, they need some support too sometimes, and we're that platform.
Mainstream society thinks that people with disabilities don't, won't and can't have sex, and I think we're here to prove that that's just not true, that one thing that they might have is just a few more questions about how they go about doing that, and also doing things such as online dating, disclosing the disability, having the confidence to get out there and grab a relationship.
We created the Love Lounge with Mick and Emily, who are two disabled people themselves, and we call them the non-expert sexperts. But they're two people who are open and they want to talk, and if they don't know the answer or they don't think they can give advice, they will research and they will look for advice that we can then feed back to the people who are writing into us.
Sex is something that we all want, we all should enjoy, and we all have a right to enjoy. And the Love Lounge, that's our ethos. Everyone should be able to have sex, and we advise people how they can do that.
Brooke is really supportive of the Undressing disability campaign and everything it stands for. Disabled women are twice as likely as able-bodied women to experience intimate, domestic and sexual violence. So it's really, really important that young disabled people have access to good quality sex and relationships education that meets their needs.
There is advice out there, and it doesn't matter how severe your disability is, there is a way that you can be sexual. It may not be penetrative sex, but it is a way to be sensual and sexual, and that exists for absolutely everybody.
Enhance UK has enabled myself and Sophie to feel comfortable discussing sexuality and disability. and to move forward, which has meant that she's now happily in a relationship.
Simply put, the more help we get from donations and from funding, the more support we can give to people like Sophie.